It was in February this year when US President Donald Trump had initiated a probe into copper imports into US. Now he has gone ahead and proposed this 50% tariff on copper. Remember, this is just a proposal for now. Final order could be signed over the next few days, and this is likely to have an impact and could impact demand supply dynamics of copper market globally. Now, as far as direct implication is concerned, tariffs are likely to increase, which means prices of copper in the US are likely to rise going forward. But for countries like India, perhaps we will not see any kind of direct impact. One, because we don't export copper as much, but of course we will see some kind of impact on copper prices. This is because all that copper which was going into United States will now probably go into several other countries. A supply of copper in several countries which import copper is likely to rise going forward, which could exert pressure on prices. So perhaps for Indian copper manufacturers, the likes of Hindalco, Vedanta and Hindustan Copper, copper prices could be under pressure, and that could be a big of a negative. But remember, as far as consuming industries are concerned, the likes of automobile companies and several data centers, wires and cables businesses, they have copper as their major raw material. So if at all prices were to fall going forward, this could be a positive for all of these consuming sectors. But remember, all this was mostly priced in, and this is because as I mentioned, the probe had begun in February this year, and Street was already expecting a tariffs on copper. In fact, over the last few days, we saw a lot of inventory being transferred from London Metal Exchange to the US before the imposition of tariff, because of which the street was largely penciling in and perhaps expecting this kind of tariff to come in on copper. So yes, no major surprises as such, but sentimentally positive for consuming sectors, because prices in countries like India could fall on account of this. We are now joined by Mr. Anuj Choudhary, Research Analyst, Commodity Research at Mirae Asset, now joining us. Sir, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. How do you assess the full situation? Back then in February, a probe was initiated. Now 50% tariff has been proposed. What kind of impact will this have on global demand supply dynamics? And do you also believe that most of the move that has come in today was already priced in, and perhaps we will not see any major impact on copper prices in the global market?
First of all, thank you for having me on your show. Uh, the markets were anticipating that the US president will impose tariffs. The percent was not clear till now, till yesterday evening. So we have seen that the stocks were moving from the LME as well as from the Shanghai warehouses to the COMEX. The COMEX inventories rose by almost 125%, from zero point 0.1 million tons to about 0.25 million tons right now. So that move was expected. The clarity has we are still waiting for more clarity as on by when will the tariffs be implemented. So once that happens, we may see some correction coming on the LME. If you see over the last few days, the cash to 3 month spread has also narrowed from about $350 to right now it's almost about $20. So yesterday it was about $70. Today morning it was around $40. Right now it has fallen to $20. So overall, we expect some medium to to long term negative impact on copper.
Okay, so you expect medium to long-term negative impact on copper prices. That's as far
Yes.
as copper moves are concerned. But also wanted your thoughts on the impact we could see in India back home. Do you expect that perhaps supplies is likely to increase in the domestic market, which could again put pressure on domestic copper prices? Am I getting this correct? Is the equation correct?
Absolutely. See, if you see, Chile is the largest copper exporter to US. So now, if US has increased the tariffs, it will look for other markets to export their output. So India is one of the largest markets today globally. So Chile will definitely look at other markets, and probably India will be one of the markets where they may try to explore. So once we may have a supply glut, if that happens, we may see downside in copper in the medium to long term.
Understood. So perhaps we could see more downside on copper prices going forward. Mr. Chaudhary, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here
Thank
on
you.
ET Now and helping us decode what the outlook is for copper prices going forward and what the implication could be of US President Donald Trump's move that came in overnight.